and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the #1 breakfast show on TV. Wake Up Nigeria, your one-stop family entertainment show. I was actually very close to saying Wonder Woman.
It's okay. No, but it's still Wonder Woman Wednesday, and I'll tell you how come. Don't worry now, we're getting there. Well, you know, we always like to do things a whole lot different from the usual. We like to sprinkle a bit of glitter mixed with a touch of awesomeness every single day.
Absolutely. And you know, people wonder if the glass is half empty or full. Miss the point. The glass is definitely refillable.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're all about.
Yes, indeed. So, hey, we change the narrative on every edition, so I advise that you guys get a good cup of whatever it is that's your favorite beverage, because it's going to be a cerebral experience.
Indeed, it will be. Now, for those wondering, we decided to let in a man today. That was why Wonder Woman Wednesday didn't take place.
Keep it Wonder Woman Wednesday.
There were some things that came up last week that we kept saying to ourselves, we need to have a man give his opinion on this so it doesn't seem like we're biased. But don't worry. We'll find a way around it. Maybe next time it might be Mike. Maybe in like 3-4 weeks.
If you're worried, I can still flick my hair back, so we can still keep it.
Now, please remember not to let your guard down like he is about to. Just follow all health guidelines, please. It's really important. As you go about your day, take care, literally. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And I am I am Mazino Appeal. You can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
So Michael Jackson's Speechless is just playing in my head, but it's all right. You can also send in your comments with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. That's on social media. And download our app, available on Android and iOS stores, okay?
And to watch all of our exciting episodes on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment. And also this Friday, we have someone special joining us on Wake Up Extra, like we always do every single Friday at 2:30 p.m. via IG Live.
Did? Okay, so IG Live and all the works. Let me just let you know what is happening today. Or rather, let us let you know what is happening today. Now, as you know, I would like to start the show with the right dosage of inspiration to get your day on the right track.
A very interesting personality, however. But she is a great actress. I think she's fantastic. Oh my goodness! What goodness! What's happening?
Pink is hot. This is supposed to be fuchsia pink, but it looks like hot pink on
Take it easy.
You know, I always like to drop it like it's hot.
Yes, we know. Yes, if it's not electric blue, it's usually hot pink.
You look fantastic.
How are you guys doing? Thank you, Mazino, and thank you, Mary.
Very well.
I mentioned it today, so you will see it's only Mazino that is here. I know that we like men, but thank you. I appreciate you as well.
Very honest of you.
That she likes men?
It's good.
Okay,
It's good.
that's all right. Okay, so it's Wednesday.
What happens here on Wednesdays?
I actually miss Titi and Tokwe. I do. I feel like we should just have Mazino walk off right now.
No, it's not a problem. Please.
Sit down there. No, but on a more serious note, it's great to have you today.
Thank you very much.
There are different things we talk about on Wednesdays. I feel like I'm orienting.
No, it's okay. I do need the orientation.
However, today we're going to keep it
very gender-free. Okay, fine. Hey,
as much as possible.
You guys are jinxed.
I'm telling you.
So I came across the best 10 minutes of 2020 yesterday afternoon. I laughed my entire life off. I enjoyed it regardless of what you think or what you say.
It was just an exaggeration.
It was fantastic. I loved it.
Senator's video really
Let me tell you about this, Mary. Apparently, she's not excited.
She watched it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let me tell everybody out there what it was. So there's this guy, the 600 years pastor, by the way. If you guys saw the viral video of this guy who laid a curse on someone who he was displeased with. He's a regular pastor, a normal one, a street pastor. But Sydney Talker did a video with him, which I think is going to blow him into the limelight because he is a natural actor. It was funny to the core. It was fantastic, although he sold his belief in religion for money. But anyhow, I thought it was fantastic, and I think everybody should see it because it just lifts you up. All 10 minutes of it, the comedy just keeps getting better and better. You guys are obviously not impressed.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I think the guy is a good actor.
He is fantastic.
That's the
600 years pastor. That's what he's called.
I didn't expect him to be so good because, you know, when people do skits and stuff or something impromptu like that, getting them to repeat it is usually a problem. Like the other guy, that Ghanaian guy.
Eventuary.
He wasn't able to pull off what 600 years as well. I can't believe we are calling them by what they know. But he wasn't able to pull it off. So the guy didn't do so badly. Yes, he had moments when, you know, being conscious of the camera and all, but he did an overall good job. Okay. But if you want to talk about the skit in general, bros.
What's wrong with it? It was great writing.
My thoughts on his acting skills, I think he was too excited.
Oh, geez.
Obviously.
I didn't think he was.
He was overtly excited.
Take me away.
He was overtly excited.
I didn't think he was. That's a skit right now. So you guys can actually have a feel of it.
And I think he's from Akwa Ibom. I felt an accent.
We'll take that video.
Okay,
we have to see this video.
We will see the video.
We'll take
we will
it later.
Definitely have you see the video at some point. But I know, Mazino, I think you have the news.
The news.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Great, so let's do this. Good morning once again, and let's do the news now. So we begin with some breaking news, which says militia leaders, Tewase Akwaza, also known as Ghana, is dead. This is according to the commander of the 4th Special Forces Command, Doma Local Government Area, Brigadier General Maude Ali Gazama. Ghana was killed on Tuesday evening in a firefight with military personnel Now, in 2017, the Nigerian police declared Ghana wanted after he was alleged to have killed several innocent persons. The Benue state government at the time placed a 10 million naira bounty on him and later surrendered himself to the amnesty program. But shortly after, he parted ways with the government. Then, after the relationship went sour, he is believed to be the brain behind criminal activities in Sankere geopolitical zone comprising Ukum, Logo, and Katsina Ala local government areas. Members of the House of Representatives from Kebbi State are seeking the federal government's intervention in order to forestall further damage by floods in the state. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
About 28 states have been ravaged by devastating floods this year. Most affected is Kebbi State, which has so far recorded no fewer than 6 deaths, 5 bridges washed away, and thousands of hectares of farmland and houses submerged. Kebbi State is a focal point in the federal government's policy to produce rice locally as part of the administration's commitment to agricultural revival, which suffered relative neglect in favor of food importation. President Muhammadu Buhari is himself disturbed and agrees the unprecedented floods will have a negative impact on steps towards food security, particularly rice. These lawmakers from Kebbi State are united in grief as they mourn the dead and the financial implication of the thousands of hectares of rice lost to the floods.
The disaster could not have come at a worse time for our farmers, who hitherto look forward to a bumper harvest this year to reduce the rising cost of food items. It is a major setback to the federal government effort to boost local rice production.
They want government to be more proactive against future occurrence.
We call on the government to commission a study with the aim of prevailing a lasting solution to the perennial flood disaster in the state.
The concerned lawmakers want the federal government to provide relief materials to hundreds of people affected by the flood as a means of alleviating their suffering. They also seek early preparation for dry season farming with the provision of seedlings and fertilizers to farmers. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
And the federal government says it will no longer release guiding price bands for the sale of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, at fueling stations. Executive Secretary, Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, Abdul Kadir Saibu, said going forward, PMS price will be determined by the forces of demand and supply and the international cost of crude oil, adding that the downstream arm of the oil and gas sector has been fully deregulated. He also said the role of the agency will be to ensure that oil marketers do not profiteer, as every petrol dealer will be free to source for product and fix their price. Mr. Saidu further said the deregulation will be in accordance with the Code of Conduct because, as a regulator, it is the duty of PPRA to protect the consumer and operators. Presently, petrol is selling between 159 and 167 naira per litre.
Not afraid of anybody.
An attempt to deregulate the oil sector in 2012 was poorly managed, resulting in over 1 week of protests and rallies. Business and social activities in major cities were held at a spot. Government was forced to abandon the move. The Petroleum Products Price and Regulatory Agency, PPRA, says foreign exchange challenges and the prevailing uncertainty in the oil market is why independent marketers are yet to resume fuel importation. Speaking with newsmen in Abuja, General Manager Administration and Human Resources for PPRA, Victor Shidok, explained that the Petroleum Products Marketing Company has been the agency announcing the price of petrol over the last few months because it is within its rights to do so. Mr. Shidok was representing the Executive Secretary of the PPPRA, Saidu Abdul Kadir. He noted that the government had agreed that the price of petrol in the Nigerian market would now be determined by market forces. And that's it on the news. All right, you're welcome. Let's do the papers this morning. I know it's a very different stage back here, but hey, it's the papers. Let's head on to that and get this done. So today is a Wednesday, September 8th, 2020. Let's already tell you what it is for the papers. We'll start with this day newspaper here. FG appeals over deregulation. Hope rises for infrastructure funding. Osinbajo says attendant hardship are not intended. Rwane subsidy removal tariff increase will boost investment. The middle of the paper, Akeredolu, my performance will give me second term. And the photo story here, royal fathers gather. Shehu of Borno, Abubakar, Ibn Gabai, Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and Sultan of Sokoto, Al-Haji Sa'ad Abubakar III, during Northern Traditional Rulers Council meeting in Kaduna only just yesterday. Water Resources Bill is done deal, says House Committee Chairman. And at the very top of the paper there, don't elongate your tenure, Buhari urges ECOWAS leaders, criticizes adoption of single currency as premature. We're going to move real quick now to the Tribune newspaper for a Wednesday here. Nigeria's revenue dropped by 60% due to COVID-19, says Buhari, says 1.7 trillion naira on electricity subsidy is no longer sustainable. And 10.413 trillion naira spent on fuel subsidy in 13 years, Lai Mohammed, justifying petrol price hike, act of provocation, PDP. If you zoom in on the smaller headlines, offer robbery, suspect armed, carted away 21 AK-47 rifles, former DPO. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to be going straight into the kitchen to talk with our ladies here. We have very interesting topics that we will be talking about. If you stay tuned, you're going to hear and also be very interested. So, Mary, what are we talking about today?
We have a lot to talk about.
Yes,
but,
we do. But first, let's
traffic updates.
Oh, okay, great.
On Twitter, let's see what's happening at Lagos traffic reports here. And okay, someone here is complaining about how a motorist is being harassed by task force men around the Ikorodu Road this morning, and he's calling on the governor to please do something about the task force guys. And officials working around Bega VIS office on Ogunusi Road are not happy. Okay, so that's basically
so follow that,
yeah, so if you have any other updates, please.
Elliot to Ishaga roundabout is good. Towing to Ishaga roundabout is also good. Ishaga to Balogun Gudugba Lonlo station is very good. Station to Fagba is good but slow at Fagba Junction. Amala Junction on Jonathan Coker to APC is good. Then slow inward Fagba Junction. I never knew there was an Amala Junction around there. Fagba Junction to Church, Jungle, Agility, and College by Ifako International is good. Then to Oyemekun inward Odejobi is steady. So that's actually from Folu Lasma. Okay. That's about it for now. So what's the gist?
We don't have any more update on Twitter for now. And so there are a couple of things that we actually would like to talk about this morning. Yes. First of all, the Kardashians.
Yes.
Are officially ending their...
Thank you, Jesus!
Oh, you're one of them.
Reality show.
Whatever.
Their reality TV show, they're officially wrapping it off after 14 years.
Tell me.
14 years, 20 episodes.
Yes, so 20 episodes, 14 years.
Yes.
After 14 years, what exactly was Keeping Up with the Kardashians about?
Yes, keeping up with their life. Like,
who cares?
I care.
Oh, please.
Some
Not
people
like
care.
but I care.
And I'm not even going to lie. Sometimes when I want to see what's happening in the world of fashion, I just,
consult them.
Yeah.
Because they always know.
Yeah, so I'm always, oh my God, what's this channel going to show? And then I just, get on it and I just watch. Okay, so white and white is a thing now.
So
okay,
apart from fashion, their failed marriages and the absolute inconsequentiality of their actions.
Which bring together the fact that they are human beings.
Oh.
People's marriages fail all the time.
It's not about the marriages now, it's about the lack of value in the entire program.
They have
Yes.
great values. That family has great values. They are just really business oriented.
Wow.
Oh, really?
But they have great. I'm actually surprised to hear that. Like, that's the first time I'm hearing it, and I'm not kidding.
Sue me. I
Yeah, I'm
still
gonna
don't think
sue
that.
No, I think they will sue you.
They do that a lot.
Yes, they're good at
Very
suing.
litigious family. aren't they?
Anyways, so I'm wondering what's next for them. I mean, and well, it's normal that once your lives, when your life is being documented on television, and the whole world gets to see it, people will always have an opinion.
I know
about
what's
it.
next.
What's next?
Politics.
Politics.
Oh yeah,
for
for
Trump.
Kim,
Well,
for Kim
well, for
Kardashian,
Kim.
right? She's actually
Possible.
hinted a few. What's it called? A few moves of
She's
few
advocating for
interests, yeah,
people who are in jail,
in
who
jail,
might have been
yes.
jailed wrongly. She's
Even
helped
those
a
who
couple
haven't
of
been
people.
jailed wrongly. She's
Yeah.
actually been at the forefront of
Yeah,
that.
she
Yeah.
also took a course in law.
in law.
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually did, which was very, very
Impressive,
admirable.
yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't expect it, but I mean, it's Kim. All right, moving on. We're done
Okay,
with the
so
Kardashians.
moving on from there, I just want to quickly touch on something before we move to something else.
Okay.
Manchester United, how markets? Did anyone see the jersey trending
No, I haven't
yesterday?
seen it. What's it about?
The jersey looks like two things. There are three actually, but the third one is a brand. So I'll just mention two of the things.
Okay.
Like a prison uniform / zebra. I said it. Come after me.
I would like to
I don't
see
care.
that.
You should see it.
So it's not.
you
It's
know,
not in good taste. is that
I
what
saw
you're
it
saying?
on several. I saw it on several people's. People, because you actually sent it to some celebrities around the world. I saw it on some, and I was
free?
like, yeah, for free, I think. And then I was like, bleh. But then I saw it on a random person, and I was like, and that was after I yabbed them, shout. Okay, this thing might be cute.
Okay.
But it didn't look good in most cases. Like, it looked
Maybe
like somebody angrily slashed black and white. Or the person was thinking of, Crossroads and said, let's slant it. So, yeah.
It's
It was
going to
just
grow
weird.
on you. Don't worry.
No,
It will
it's
grow.
weird.
And
This
I
one
also
can't
feel
go.
that maybe
Looks
it's
ugly.
also part of their strategy to get, that attention, to get
Attention.
people talking about it.
We
you
are
are
Any
talking
talking
about
publicity
it.
is
We
good
are.
publicity.
Exactly. Any publicity is
We
good
are.
publicity. So, well,
Yeah.
good for them. Mary's talking about Man U. She usually always talks about Arsenal. So,
Yeah, because there's somebody here. He's always after Arsenal. He's looking at me right now. He's behind the camera. If you like, put off the camera.
But in any
anyways,
case,
yeah.
my turn to tell you what I'd like to talk about?
Yeah,
Don't
go
worry, I'm not
ahead.
talking about the preacher anymore. But there's a viral video of a portrait that's being sold on Lagos streets.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have seen that viral video, but it's one of Hush Puppy. It's very funny to see because this guy driving his car takes out his phone and videos this trader who's selling this big portrait of guess who? Hush Puppy. And it brings the question what our values are. I mean, are these the people we are celebrating now?
I don't understand. Are we supposed to buy the portrait and put it in our house?
I'm very confused myself, but it would seem that there's a demand for it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be out there in the streets selling it.
It seems like, okay, we know that there are a few people who actually idolize Hush Puppy. There are a lot of people who actually celebrated him even after his arrests. Are you one of those people?
Because you that smile on your face.
Exactly.
It's because what I want to say. Okay.
Yeah.
I will just let you.
Well, you'd be shocked at the level of mediocrity we celebrate in this part of the world. So, well, whatever. If you like his portraits, whatever. Bye.
See, I was smiling at everything you said until you said this part of the world. The reality is mediocrity is celebrated all over the world. For me, it might seem very ironic, but, and I can be proved wrong, I would say Britain is probably one of the most conservative in the world. Africa, in some cases.
True.
I dare say Africa is even conservative than many parts of the world. The only sad part is...
Because the media isn't, you know, propagating
well,
the...
it's not even about the media.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you talk about all these people, like, you wonder, why are you celebrating them? But then you realize that there are some people who actually not only look up to them, see them as heroes.
Let me draw a parallel with what you just said. Escobar was actually is actually
Pablo
very
Escobar.
celebrated.
Yes.
Well, he's celebrated even if he is a known criminal. He's celebrated for
His philanthropy.
his philanthropy.
Yes.
Now,
And that cannot be said of...
Well, yeah, so exactly. So in his time, he did so much for the poor than even the government of his country.
So much.
He even got into governance to try and help the poor,
Exactly.
it said.
I don't know why I
But
can't
in
remember this
Nigeria-
person. In
in
Nigerian
Nigeria,
criminal, that did the same thing.
We just see a person, and because this person flaunts his wealth or whatever it is, or seeming knowledge, and then we start to
Inspiration.
celebrate them. So I'm asking us, what are the values that we put forward as a culture? Whether it's a modern culture or whether it's a former culture. Actually, in the past, there were cases of people celebrated for even being criminals. One of the stories I like to bring up, and it's a very interesting one. Have you people ever heard the story of Anini?
And that's the person I was trying to remember.
He was
That
a
is it.
notorious criminal in
Yes.
the 80s. Stories of him in a white Santana driving backwards from Lagos to Benin are like the anti-hero type of image that you get growing up as a
But
child.
you know what he did? It was actually, just as you said of Escobar, he was known for that.
He was known for actually...
Yes, he was known for always helping the poor. But what is Hush Puppy known for? For flaunting and making you want to steal or rob a bank so you can be wealthy. And then Robin Hood, it might be fictitious, but he was known for that. Robbing the rich to help the poor.
We're not
Please,
espousing and
don't
saying
go and be a robber.
that.
If they catch you, they'll not only beat you up, you go to
It is
jail.
wrong. We're just
It's
trying to
very
draw
wrong.
parallels
yes,
here.
we're just like pointing out that what exactly is Hush Puppy being celebrated for, except maybe as a hero for those who in the same line of business.
Perhaps.
Like, this guy made it, I must make it too. I will not flaunt my wealth or something.
Okay. Now, another case is a certain ex-BBN Big Brother Niger housemate who misbehaved. She broke a lot of rules, and then
It's celebrated as well after
she's
she
been
was
celebrated
evicted.
after she was evicted. She wasn't even evicted; she got disqualified.
Disqualified, rather.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was actually disqualified, and now there is a GoFundMe account that was opened for her immediately
People
after she
started
left that
putting
house.
money in it.
Guess how much?
How much?
$22,584.
Dollars. Blow me away.
Dollars.
Okay.
Well, the goal is 100,000, and she will reach it.
Listen, let's take a look at the video of that Hush Puppy video I was talking about.
Okay.
Let's see that right now.
Okay.
Just so that they know what
Because
I'm talking about.
I must give my opinion on this, your
Of
Erica
course.
matter.
Not my Erica.
Your Erica.
That's it.
30,000. What will be the guy?
And look how excited he was to say 30,000 naira.
30,000. Yes.
For what?
Anyway, back to the Erica
The
matter.
smell.
You see, my own angle to this Erica matter is actually quite different from what many people are thinking of. So many people have gone on and on about Nigerian youth, no values, whatever. See, we all live luxurious lifestyles. Whatever you wish to spend your money on, this is my opinion, you can spend it. There are people who you will pass by on the road begging for food. You don't give them money for food, but you will go straight to the nearest beer parlor and go and drink. You take your money, instead of buying the movie or maybe joining funds with friends to buy the original movie, what do? You take your money with friends, expensive cinema, you go and chill.
The VIP one.
You take your money to go and bet, helping betting companies increase their funds. You take your money for this, you take your money for that. If you decide that you like somebody and you want to spend your money on the person, you are free. As for even all this, what are celebrities for and influencers? They are used to influence brands. When somebody likes a celebrity or, you know, a particular influencer, what do? The brands will now put them as, you know, the ambassadors. So that a dress you could have bought for 5,000 from a regular person who probably has it in quality, you go and buy it from that brand at 50,000. Is it different from what is happening with Erica and GoFundMe? Look, we are fond of this. The people are suffering. You are doing this. You are doing that. Look, many of us don't help the poor. And I feel those who keep going on about this thing are people who are feeling guilty themselves.
There is another angle that there were a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora who actually, many of them donated to this cause. And not, well,
she said cause.
It's a charity cause now.
It's actually, quite frankly, it is charity.
It is. It has become a charitable organization. So donate to it. No problem. No problem.
But what is your opinion?
Our problems are piling up in this country. So continue.
I have a natural, I'm just naturally averse to these showy displays of, to me, it's just nonsensical, period. I do not celebrate values that are under my standards or even general standards. I don't think that it should be, whether it's the Erica instance, whether it's the Hush Puppy instance and all of that. Sometimes I even wish that there's some sort of intervention to say this is not a good example, to set that straight. We have all these bad examples being put out there and nobody, nothing, not even the religious houses are coming out to say this is not something that we should be doing. If that was in place, that would be great. But
do you know how much people are spending on the voting?
Oh, wow.
People are spending money on these things. Well, the things people spend money on will blow your mind.
It still boils down to, if it's your money, whatever you want to do with it, go ahead.
Exactly.
But please do not disregard the people around you who are in need of help. I see these things every day on social media, and it feels like a misplaced priority.
Yeah.
Please, just look out for the people around you and see how you can help them. Children are looking forward to going back to school very soon. Find a way to reach out to them. Is it face mask? Is it hand sanitizers? Just do something that is useful and that is sensible.
And
it's your money, you are free to spend it however you want to, but at the same time, think of those around you who need it.
Yeah.
On that note, MM does have a very interesting life hack for us today about going back to school. So if you do stay around, we'll take this short break and we'll return with more shortly after on Wake Up Nigeria.
An exhilarating 1 hour just went by, and the second hour is about to start with your friendly neighborhood anchors.
I thought you were going to say Spider-Man. Could have sworn you were going to say Spider-Man. Anyhow, so many things to get to.
You've given me a lot of moments like this today.
I know. We're getting to a lot of exciting stuff on the show here today, so thank you once again for choosing to join us for the midweek edition of the most exciting TV show on this side of the hour and the planet, by the way.
So I set myself up for trouble.
Why?
Because people have started coming after me.
Saying?
I'm supporting what Erica did.
Oh, already?
It's funny how people misconstrue statements.
Oh, shoot. Where are you? Where are you?
All I said was people spend their money on different things. And I did support the fact that it's important to help the poor. And now I'm getting a lot of, so yes. Anyway. Do not forget to follow all health guidelines on the fight against this deadly virus, because coronavirus,
it's real.
It's very real. My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi.
And I am Mazino Appeal. Of course, you know that already. Stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yeah, and you know we also have a super cool app. It's available for download at both Android and iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
And of course, to watch all our exciting episodes from YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment. And also, this Friday, we have someone special joining us on Wake Up Nigeria Extra at 2:30 p.m. on IG Live. So, you want to do that. It's very exciting Friday evenings. We get to let our hair down. Oh, they let their hair down. I just put a comb in my hair.
And you know, talking about special things, one special aspect on Wake Up Nigeria is the food. Really good food, by the way.
Clara?
Who's
Clara? Different angle.
I think I always can tell old Nollywood from new Nollywood. There's a big dichotomy when it comes to
For me, I would say old Nollywood is still the best Nollywood. Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. Old Nollywood is the same for you too, Abby. Old Nollywood is the best Nollywood. Yes.
Absolutely.
I've actually watched so many old Nollywood, like I had to rewatch Things Fall Apart, if that can be classified as Nollywood.
That's not old Nollywood. Those are classic. That's
Asian.
No, that's not Asian. That's classic Nigerian content, and I think I prefer that one if that's what you mean. But talking about the, you know,
Ineka the Pretty Serpent, it is still the better Nollywood.
Anyways, we need to head over to the news now, and Ibrahim is on standby.
From new Nollywood.
Snake in the monkey shadow, you see that in Nollywood as well. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 296 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 55,456. This is the highest number the country has recorded in the last few days. Plateau State recorded the highest number with 183 new infections. Lagos came in second place with 33 new cases, followed by the FCT with 25 new cases. So far, for the 30,334 people have been discharged, while 1,067 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Nigerians living in the North Central can heave a sigh of relief as a notorious criminal, Tewase Akwaza, also known as Ghana, who has been terrorizing the region, is now dead. This is according to the commander of the 4 Special Forces Command, Doma Local Government Area, Brigadier General Maude Ali Gedzama. Ghana was killed on Tuesday evening in a firefight with military personnel. In 2017, the Nigerian police declared Ghana wanted after he was alleged to have killed several innocent persons. The Benue State government at the time placed a 10 million naira bounty on him and later surrendered himself for the amnesty program. But shortly after, he parted ways with the government. Then, after, the relationship went sour. He is believed to be the brain behind criminal activities in Sankera geopolitical zone comprising Ukum, Logo, and Kesina Ala local government areas. Meanwhile, Benue State Governor Samuel Otom has given armed youths from Sankera geopolitical zone another chance to be reintegrated into the society. The governor did this on Tuesday while receiving youths suspected to have been terrorizing Sankera geopolitical zone in the numbers and, by extension, Benue Northeast Senatorial District. He noted that the amnesty became necessary following appeals by stakeholders from the area on the need to give armed youths operating in the Axis another chance to embrace peace and live among the people. He stressed the need for people of Sankera to give peace a chance for development to thrive, adding that no meaningful development could take place where there is insecurity. And now the federal government says it will no longer release guiding price bands for the sale of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, at filling stations. Executive Secretary, Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, Abdul Kadir Saidu, says going forward, PMS price will be determined by the forces of demand and supply and the international cost of crude oil, adding that the downstream arm of the oil and gas sector has been fully deregulated. He also said the role of the agency will be to ensure that oil marketers do not profiteer, as every petrol dealer will be free to source for products and fix their price. Mr. Saidu further said the deregulation will be in accordance with the Code of Conduct because as a regulator, it is the duty of PPRA to protect the consumer and operators. Presently, petrol is selling between 159 naira and 167 naira per litre. An attempt to deregulate the oil sector in 2012 was poorly managed, resulting in over 1 week of protests and rallies. Business and social activities in major cities were held, and exports government was forced to abandon the move. While the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, says foreign exchange challenges and the prevailing uncertainty in the oil market is why independent marketers are yet to resume fuel importation. Speaking with newsmen in Abuja, General Manager Administration and Human Resources of the PPPRA, Victor Shidok, explained that the Petroleum Product Marketing Company has been the agency announcing the price of petrol over the last few months because it's within its rights to do so. He noted that the government had agreed that the price of petrol in the Nigerian market would not be determined by market forces. And as the news this hour, we now have sports next.
And you're welcome once again. This time, let's do the papers right. All right, welcome. And of course, we know what date it is. It's Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. We are going to be starting from the Punch newspapers. First big headline this morning, Can knocks Buhari as president says Trump asked why he's killing Christians. I told you as president, herdsmen, farmers clash not an ethnical, or rather ethnicity, religion, says the president. Your conversation with Trump weak, 105 Baptists killed in 2020, says Can. And if we move on to the bottom of the page, police to arraign Kogi commissioner for rape, assault of beauty queen. And law school bars parents, others as call to bar holds. PwC senior partner drowns in Lagos, police probe aid. Also, still in the Punch newspaper, Ogun needs 218 billion naira to complete Daniel Amosun's project, says the panel on page 12 there. And on page 5, Kwara teacher arraigned for alleged sexual molestation of 7-year-old pupil. I didn't float air peace with amnesty funds, says Onyema. Find that story on page 10 at the top of the Punch. 30,000 naira minimum wage meaningless with petrol price hike, says NLC. And oil marketers now free to fix prices, says PPPRA. On page 7, poverty, economic crisis deepening daily, says Osinbajo. We are going to move swiftly on now to the Daily Sun newspaper. Big headline here, protests against electricity tariff, fuel price hike, rock Osun, Ogun, Ondo, Oyo. Police foil demonstration in Lagos. No agitation will be allowed in Borno, says security. The top of the page, Ohaneze, Igbo elders youth rise against water resources bill. Southeast looking up to Pan-Igbo Organization for 2023 presidency push group. That's on page 27. And governors betrayed people on a regional security, says the ADF. At the bottom of the page, Edo Ondo gubernatorial, INEC to decide on card reader, controversial matters tomorrow. And what I told Trump about Christian massacre allegation. That's from Buhari. The photo story here, the founder, Chancellor, Afe Babalola University, Ado-Ekiti, Are Afe Babalola, receiving from Mr. Onuoha, Managing Director, Editor-in-Chief, Sun Publishing Newspaper Limited, plaque and certificate of the Sun Education Entrepreneur of the Year 2018, which he didn't receive earlier. Let's move on now, real quick, to the Nation newspaper. Buhari orders quick release of 2.3 trillion naira stimulus fund. Millions of jobs coming, says Osinbajo. At the top of the Nation, off a robbery. I fled without my gun, says policeman, on page 6. And petrol price protests in Oyo, Lagos, Ogun, Osun, and other states. Law school bars parents from call to bar, and petrol price hike unconnected with crude rate, says PPPRA. There's another story here. Ministers move to end doctors' strike. Parley in Abuja today. Patients leave hospital. There are more stories inside the Nation. You would like to grab a copy of that one and read. Moving on to the Vanguard newspaper for a Wednesday here. And big headline, 10.43 trillion naira subsidy. You're wrong, industry stakeholders. Others tell federal government. Minister should provide details. Ipman. Ads subsidy was refund spent by marketers, and nobody can get subsidy figure right. Pengerson. FG should hold stakeholders confab urgently, says Aremu, and government transferring its incompetence to Nigerians, says Lakemfa. The chart here showing the fuel price, unemployment, minimum wage comparison, Nigeria and selected countries, as we've heard so much about that one in the past few days, about the rates and how much it might be in other related countries. And anxiety in INEC as changes imminent over Edo-Ondo polls. Use of card readers for authentication affected. Distribution of elections material may be strained, and politicians hijack nominees for supervising presiding officers, SPOs. No threats to polls. Allegations misleading, mischievous, says INEC. To the side of the page, COVID-19, FG denies knowledge of alleged 42,000 naira test fee. We spend 400,000 naira to treat one COVID-19 patient, says El Rufai. And Christian elders oppose another constitutional amendment. Military seizes wanted Benue militia leader from traditional rulers. And at the very bottom, Ndigbo Southeast governors must tackle insecurity, says the Anglican bishop. And the Daily Independence this morning has this big headline: Office lobby at INEC may affect Edo-Ondo polls. National Commissioner seeking reappointment. Politicians hijack nominees for supervising presiding officers, and allegation mischievous, says INEC. To the side of the Daily Independent, Malabu Oil, FG slams 67 charges against Abubakar Etete others, and bandits, kidnappers have taken over Uni Abuja, VC cries out. Now that's sad. Deliver on electoral promises, APC governors tell leader. And once again, this headline making a reappearance here. Trump once asked me why I was killing Christians, says Buhari, urges government officials to defend administration. We have made progress as government, says the SGF. FG states SGF. FG states LG's share 3.88 trillion naira in H1 2020. And at the very top of the Daily Independence, supremacy battle in Southwest ahead 2023 presidency. And of course, deregulation. PPPRA assures Nigerians better days ahead. Well, we wait to see. Of course, this is what we want. And that would be it for the headlines this morning here on Wake Up Nigeria. Now let's get fit. Time for some excitement and exercise. Let's check out what's happening inside the garden for fitness.
All right, welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And guess who's here? Here again. Natito's here.
Yeah,
Tell a friend. Guess who's here? Guess who? I'm actually remixing that song. Look at him. He's dancing even more than the cooking. But it's great to have you on the show, Chef Nathaniel.
It's good to be back.
Yes, he is of Natito Cuisine and is making breakfast for us this morning, making us feel like champions. Yes. So let's talk about today's breakfast. What is for breakfast?
So today we are doing something different and unique.
Okay.
So it's called pasta vegetarian burger.
Pasta vegetarian burger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our typical burger, instead of the meats, we are going to use pasta.
Something to chew.
Yes.
Wow.
Just for vegetarians, those who don't like.
Even if I'm not a vegetarian,
Yeah, you can actually,
pasta.
yeah.
Let's talk about the ingredients.
So we have bell peppers,
Okay.
onions, tomatoes, tomato paste, apple, cucumber.
Is that tomato?
Yes. This is bell pepper red.
Bell pepper,
Yeah.
okay.
So we have plantain, shredded carrot and
Cabbage, yeah.
and pasta, burger bread, vegetable oil, and soya spice, basil, coriander, and steak seasoning.
As well as salt and barbecue sauce, I think?
Yeah, we're going to use barbecue
Fantastic.
sauce for the
Okay, so let's get started. What's the first thing
So
we're doing?
first thing, our water is boiling. So
Okay.
we're just gonna
Put in the
add
pasta. Okay, the
little
oil? Okay.
Just little.
Now, what's the purpose of putting oil when cooking pasta? Like, whenever people want to boil pasta, it's recommended that you put in oil for a reason.
Yeah, because like the pasta, especially spaghetti,
Okay.
it's usually like gum together.
Okay.
So the oil will help to separate it.
Okay. So this makes it easier to
Yes.
avoid stickiness.
Yes, all those. I don't even like it. At times 5 or 10 will just come together. So the oil helps to separate it.
So someone actually told me that to avoid it, make sure the rice or the pasta or whatever you're boiling, you drain the water. But does that always help?
Draining the water, because yes, I usually drain the water, but at the end, when you are draining the water, it could have
It still gets stuck together.
It's just best to use oil, especially at the beginning.
Okay. So we're going to let the pasta boil. Now we have 2 types of pasta. 3 as a matter of fact.
Okay, 2 shapes of pasta
and then spaghetti. Okay, so yeah. Now let's see what next.
So what next is our bell pepper. So just going to chop.
Okay, is there going to be some stir frying?
Yes.
There's going to be some stir frying.
Although with the pasta, we're going to do it somehow like jollof pasta. So it's more like your typical cooking pasta before we do.
Okay, so that brings me to something else. I know for sure that a few weeks ago, I happened to be in the kitchen when you were talking about your new business. How has it been?
It's been very good and very nice, especially one of my favorites. Breakfast, burrito. So many people like it.
Wow, so burrito is like the most popular?
Yeah, so many people like it. So it's just more like, it's not really like shawarma, but something, it's just like a wrap.
So let's just say breakfast favorite for some people is actually the burritos.
Yes.
That's nice. That's really nice. Okay, so apart from that, what else has been the second favorite?
Just that, like just occasionally people take the dodo kebab.
Okay.
And the plantain. I did one menu here, like it's called plantain boats.
Yes,
plantain, so
plantain boats is popular too.
Not really popular as burrito.
As a burrito, but
is
it's
like
also
70%.
Burrito is that popular?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Do you put plantain in the burrito? Because I know you put plantain in everything.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to suspect you with this plantain matter. You see? We even have plantain today.
There's nobody, Nigerians who doesn't like plantain. Come on.
So if I want to place an order, what do I need to do?
Just go to my Instagram bio at Untitled Cuisine. Then you see a link there.
Okay.
Just follow the link and you're going to meet me.
Okay, so burrito for breakfast.
Yeah,
sounds very delicious.
Very delicious.
You're very much on your own. Okay, so we're going to cut up everything.
Yeah, so.
Stir fry?
Yes, we're going to stir fry it. Then once the pasta is done, we'll cook it with the paste and mix everything together. Okay. Then after that, we'll fry our plantain.
Okay. Is the plantain going to be in the burger as well?
Yes, but to be
How are we going to pile all of this? Because I can see cucumbers and...
Yes, it's going to be very thin a little bit so that it can...
fit in.
Yes, so and this kind of breakfast is more like 2-in-1. You are eating the regular pasta and are eating burger. So it's something that can actually stay in your stomach for like hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like full breakfast.
Yes, full breakfast.
This one is good now. You just need a glass of juice to finish it off.
You got it.
In fact,
those cold one with ice cubes.
Bros, calm down. It's too early.
It was true like this.
We still have an hour before this food can be eaten. Don't let me be feeling too hungry. Oh, you're still going to cut this up. I thought you were going to leave it in those stripes.
Just different shapes.
Okay.
And actually, this recipe is a new collection. Well, I say collection, it's more like clothing line. It's a new menu of Untitled Cuisine. Okay. And it will be available tomorrow for others. So,
so it's not available today for others. Okay. So
today is the launch exclusively to TVC.
Exclusive to TVC. Okay, don't worry. It will be exclusively in our belly in the next 1 hour.
And I actually got this, the concept of this menu from one of the chefs on the show.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you used to steal from other chefs. They are going to sue you.
No man is an island.
Hey, we are going to talk about this. Let's just pretend nobody heard that. And then we'll just let quickly take the show right now, like steal the show completely with life hacks. Let's just pretend nothing happened. Oh yeah, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Natido, that sure looks like breakfast for champions. All right, it's time for life hacks, people. And yes, school resumes next week, guys. People of the country, are you ready? Are you revved up? Are you excited about resuming school? Maybe not, maybe. But hey, here is a hack for you to resume school in style. All right, so today I'll be showing you how to make a DIY Ankara notebook like I have here, but with a little twist for you students who will be resuming school very soon. what are the things that you need to do to work with? So first of all, you need your pair of scissors and of course your notebook, your Ankara fabric. You can also use any kind of fabric. It depends on your style, how you want to, what you want to work with, how you want your book to look like. I have my glue here, and I have my pencils and markers, and I have a few accessories and a sticker. So I'll just quickly get right to it. First things first, and I've already started part of the process, but I'm still definitely going to show you. I just did it quickly to save time. So what I have done is, so first of all, you cut out the piece of fabric that you want to use. Take a good measurement using the book that you want to use, of course. So what I have done here is place the book on the Ankara, and I have glued the cover of the book like you can see here. So I'm going to do the same thing. So before I do that, what I'm going to do right now is, so this side, the part of the book that's where the book gathers, what I'm going to do here is cut out the fabric. So I'm just going to cut out, leave an incision here, like a tiny one here. I hope you're watching. And, oh, my glue. And I'm going to do this on both sides quickly. So this is very easy to make. It's not difficult at all. So I'll make another incision there. Next up, I am going to take my brush, put it in my glue, and then place it on the cover of my book. You can use any kind of glue when working with this. So I'm really going to be as quick as possible. And there we have it. Now I am going to stick my Ankara fabric on the cover of the book nicely, as you can see here. Next up, I am just going to tuck in the Ankara fabric onto the other side of the cover book. And I'm going to do the same here. Just place my glue on it. Stick the Ankara fabric on it nicely, and do this, take this all around and tuck it in nicely, like I'm doing here. So, okay, there you go. So I'm getting to the most interesting part of this DIY, which is the accessorizing. Like I said earlier on, this is a back-to-school hack. So I'm just going to tuck this in here nicely. And then next up, I'm going to take one page, that's the first page of the book, and then also glue it, stick it to the cover of the book, the cover page, which you have already, placed your Ankara fabric on. So now that that is done, I just basically want to show you, how this looks. As you can see, it's, partly done, but we are not done yet. Next up, what I did here is I cut out a piece of a pocket from one of my denim jeans, and I'm going to stick it to the cover page of the book. So I'm going to do this quickly. I'm going to put this on all the ends of the pockets. So when working with your glue, please be very careful. So I'm going to stick this on nicely, like I have here. So see, what I did here basically was I put the glue on all the sides of the pockets, not here, because what we're trying to create here is more like we're also trying to create a pocket so that whatever we put in fits in perfectly. So I'm just going to wait for that to stick on nicely. And next up, I have a few stickers here that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to take this out and stick it on here. Basically showing you how it's done. You could, before the end of the show, I'm going to show you the finished work. and then you see how it looks. But I'm sure you watching at home already have an idea. So I'm just going to stick this out nicely and then stick it to my book. So with the stickers, you can get them at the supermarkets. They're basically they're not hard to find at all. So I'm just going to do this here. You could also create your own stickers using super glue and paper cuts. It depends. You can cut the paper cuts in different shapes and sizes. So I'm just going to wait for that to stick on nicely. So while that is going on there, so it's basically done. I just have to wait for the glue to dry up nicely. But at least you have an idea of what I'm trying to create here. So I'm just going to stick more, put more stickers on the paper, on the book, and then let's check and see if our pocket is ready to go. So now that it's stayed on nicely, as you can see here, okay, the glue is still drying up. So the essence of this basically, it's so that you can put your pencils in. You can put your pencils in. You can even put your sweets, you can put your snacks, anything basically. So this is not drying up. I have to put in more glue. So while we wait for our glue to dry up, you just basically like have an idea of what we're trying to create here. As you can see, it's almost ready, but we're just going to wait for our glue to dry up. See, very easy, and you're good to go. So basically you don't even need much, but I mean, it's a perfect way to resume school in style, isn't it? All right, and that's it on Life Hacks for today. Please send your comments on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. I'd like to hear from you. And that's it on Life Hacks, guys. There's still so much more on the show. Please stay with us.
Back to the kitchen on Wake Up Nigeria, still with Chef Nathaniel of Natido Cuisine preparing breakfast for us. And just as said, and as I said earlier, it's breakfast for champions like us. Yeah.
We run the world.
We run the world. Wow. So somebody accepts that we run the world. That's more like it. That's more like it. Okay, so our pasta is ready. Yep. As you can see right here, it is ready. So what are we doing next?
We're gonna fry our veggies.
Okay. Now for those just tuning in, do you want to tell us what's for breakfast?
Okay, we're doing pasta vegetarian burger.
Yes, so it's actually burger, but with a twist. It's pasta vegetarian burger. And it's new on the menu from Natido Cuisine. Okay, so the veggies we put in there, what are they?
Gonna allow this stir fry a bit.
Onions?
Yes, we have onions, tomato, and bell peppers.
Okay. So that's all we have in there.
Just add our seasoning.
What's that?
We have basil,
Okay, so
soya spice, coriander,
and which?
steak seasoning.
Steak seasoning. Yeah. Okay. So isn't that still a cheat? Because hey, I don't eat meat, and then you're teasing my taste buds with steak seasoning.
Yeah.
Another angle, Abi.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you don't have to eat it.
Sure.
Well,
Just
okay.
little salt.
A little bit of salt.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I noticed you didn't put salt in the pasta.
Yes, I did that because I was going to drain off the water. So if I should put salt, it's as if I'm washing away all the salt.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So since I'm still going to use it for this.
So what's next? Ah, okay. That's the tomato paste.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to allow this to cook a bit.
Okay.
So it's going to have so many colors.
So, we can already see the colors. And talking about colors, there's something else you'll see shortly on your screen. I'm talking about the ingredients. You can take a screenshot or scribble them down. What we're making use of today for Natido's pasta vegetarian burger. So we have spices, onions, tomato, lettuce, cinnamon, burger bread. We also have barbecue sauce, bell peppers, a plantain, olive oil, and pasta. So those are the ingredients for today's breakfast. Wow. Okay, so plantain. We're going to be frying that,
Yes.
right? Okay. So that means we need to heat up the oil.
Yeah, we're going to heat up that.
What shape would make sense for this plantain?
Going to be somehow like flat.
Okay.
Yeah, so more like a ruler, but just short. So it's going to fill in. Since the bread is not that wide,
Okay.
we're just going to cut it little.
Okay. Okay. Sounds exciting, though.
Yep.
I can't wait for the food to be ready so we can tell everyone exactly how it tastes.
Yes.
Okay. So, don't worry. The food is coming along nicely. You still get to know what we're going to do with the cucumber and the apples. All you need to do is keep your fingers crossed. And, of course, do not lose sight of your TV screen, not in the next 1 hour, okay? And talking about next, what is next is Mazino with Dr. Olatunde Kuti, talking health right now.
All right. Yeah, while we don't want to lose sight of the TV screens, I won't be losing sight of that kitchen right there because it seems like it's going to be fantastic. But let's get to health. And this morning we have a very interesting discussion up ahead. We have Dr. Kuti Olatunde. He is a medical director for a non-governmental organization, Fruitful Vine. He is a general practitioner with keen interest in public health and well-being and is actively involved in management of COVID-19 patients. Today on the show, however, he will be talking to us about prostate cancer. So let's already go ahead and say hello, good morning to you, Dr. Kuti. Can you hear me?
Hello.
All
Hello,
right.
good morning. I can hear you.
Fantastic. Good to have you here.
Same here.
All right. So last week we talked about colon cancer. Of course, Chadwick Boseman passed away. But this week we're focusing on a different kind of cancer, and that's prostate cancer. First off, before we go ahead, I'd like you to please explain cancer and then prostate cancer so we get a good foundation to go.
Okay, so cancer basically, they're just abnormal cell growth. So we have cells in the body and we expect them to grow normally. But when those cells grow haywire, they grow abnormally. And prostate is this organ that is found only in males. It's just below the bladder. It's an organ that is responsible for secreting some fluid inside the male semen. So when that organ, the cells in that organ, when they grow abnormally, then we have what we call prostate cancer.
Okay, so normally doctors have it difficult explaining why cancers exist in any case. But is it okay to ask what exactly causes prostate cancer?
Well, like you said, it's usually very difficult sometimes to pinpoint why exactly this is happening. But for prostate cancer, there are genetic mutations. So the cells have what we call genes. These are they are like proteins that code what the cell do. And they are, in some cases, these genes are not coding the right thing they're supposed to do. So they go haywire, they're not what they're supposed to do, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, they're doing another thing. Reason why that is nobody knows, like it happens spontaneously, but there are risk factors that have been associated with such mutations. The risk factors are like old age. It has been found that the older you get, the more the genes go haywire. Obesity, when you eat much of fatty foods as well as low fiber diet. Then also, for one reason or the other, the black population has been associated with such mutations.
Oh, really? We stand more risk of having prostate cancer as Africans? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Africans have more risk of having prostate cancer than the Europeans.
Okay, so let's take a look at that name, prostate cancer. Prostate itself, what is prostate? Because I would associate it with a part of the body, but what exact part of the body is that? What organ?
Okay, it's just an organ, the small organ just located below the bladder.
Okay.
And it's also in front of the rectum.
Okay.
So the function basically is just to secrete some fluid inside the semen of males. So when you ejaculate, what makes the semen watery or fluid is prostate that's secreted.
Okay. So what are the symptoms for prostate cancer? What should one be looking at if they suspect that they might have it already? And when is it time to go see a doctor?
Okay. the time to go see a doctor, number one, if you have a risk factor for it, like if you have a family history, maybe someone, your brother, your father, your uncle has already had prostate cancer in the past. You are prostate cancer in the past. You are usually advised from 45 years and above to regularly go for screening. However, if you don't have those risk factors, symptoms that usually present with, unfortunately, in the early stages of prostate cancer, it's usually asymptomatic. It doesn't present with anything. So by the time symptoms are already coming, it's usually advanced. And things are seen as weight loss, there is pain while ejaculating or while urinating, there is blood while urinating, and sometimes you can have this back pain or pelvic pain. That's when the tumor has metastasized, has moved to other parts of the body. So basically, those are the few symptoms that you see. But majority of the time, people that have it early is usually asymptomatic. So when you pick it, it's usually maybe an incidental finding. The person just went to the hospital, they did an examination, and they found out. Typically does not have symptoms in the early stage.
Okay, so risk factors, being African is one of them, and then being advanced in age is another one. And you said something very worrying, which is the fact that by the time symptoms are actually manifesting or that they're visible, it's already too late. Is that what you said?
Yeah, by the time symptoms have manifested, yes, it's most likely that advanced.
So would this mean that it is best in our interest to actually have checkups to check whether or not, even if we don't see any symptoms? Is that a wise advice for, well, African men especially?
Yes, it is. After the age of 45, you are usually advised. You can do the simple blood test. It's called the PSA. So when you do that, the PSA is like a substance in the blood that measures if something like that is happening in the prostate. So you can just go to the hospital, they do your PSA, and you can know. So if the PSA is rising, then it's suggestive that something is going wrong. And
is this test expensive? Because we know how we feel about spending money, especially for checkups here. Our culture is not exactly that kind. How expensive is such a test?
The PSA is not expensive. It's less than 3,000.
Okay.
Less than 5,000.
Okay. Now, a bit of confusion here with a couple of the terms used when it comes to doctors who attend to people with prostate cancer. And a urologist and an oncologist, these two individuals are people that we will meet or might meet if we happen to have this ailment. What are their basic or what are their definite functions, these kinds of doctors?
Okay, so the urologist is the person that treats anything that involves, is a surgeon that treats anything that involves the kidney down to the urethra. He's involved in treating prostate cancer and all that. While the oncologist is the ones that they are involved in treating cancer cells.
Okay.
So urologist does not necessarily need to treat cancer cells.
Okay.
But oncologists treat cancer cells. So both of them are usually very useful in the management of prostate cancer.
All right.
Because if you have to reset, if you have to remove the tumor, the urologist is the one that removes the tumor, while the oncologist is the one that gives the chemotherapy, the radiotherapy, the hormonal therapy, because it's a combined treatment, depending on the state. So in some people, you have to remove the tumor from the prostate.
Are there any side effects to these treatments? Are there any side effects?
Yes, for the chemotherapy and the radiotherapy, there are side effects. Things like hair loss, things like weakness, fatigue, and so on. But they are not side effects that you can't handle. They are side effects that can be handled, but yeah, they are side effects.
You've already told us who is most at risk, and you said that African men. However, this is an ailment that's most associated with men, not women. Just to clarify that, yes?
Yes. Women don't have prostate. So it's only male.
Okay. All right. Well, I wouldn't know. I'm not a doctor. I jettisoned that dream way long time ago. But Dr. Kuti, thank you very much. You've actually enlightened us plenty on this health risk. And in a summary, you've asked that we make sure that we do checkups, especially if we have a history of this in our family lines. And the older we get, the more we might need to take it seriously and go for checkups. We appreciate this. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to having you back on the show again, so you are always welcome. And of course, if you're still out there, of course you are, do keep watching because we have more coming up here on the show today. We'll be visiting the kitchen very soon to see how that meal's coming up. And of course, hey, let's tell you in just about a bit what's going to happen inside the next and remaining 45 minutes of the show here on Wake Up Nigeria.
You know, they say good things may come to those who wait.
Oh my goodness.
But unfortunately, flat tummy doesn't come to you if you don't work on it. And of course, only the things left by those who hustle. Now, that is a popular quote from Thomas Edison, even though we put our own too. So don't just wait around. Get right on the horse.
Well, invest in your dreams, grind now and shine later is what I like to tell people. This is the time to get busy. And like you can see, she jumped right into her jeans just like Beyonce.
Yeah,
She said she was going to do it and you did it. You're silly.
Well, very well. Yeah, you put that together quite nicely. I thought you will.
Okay.
Well, let's get right to it. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And of course, you all know my name. My name is Mazino Appeal.
He never gets tired of reminding us, so we know it.
Let me also remind you that you have an option of streaming the show online at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Also join us on our social media pages and send in your comments. We would like to hear from you, Biko. Kindly use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And to watch all our exciting episodes, past and for now, from YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment. Just TVC Entertainment. That's it.
And you know, also on Fridays, yes, every Friday we have someone special joining us on Wake Up Extra. That's by 2:30 p.m. via IG Live. So you don't want to miss that one.
All right. So let's tell you what's going to happen. We're going to see Jane. She's going to be joining us, and we're going to be talking about some very interesting experiences.
She's a life coach.
She's a life coach.
Yes.
Yeah. You just go ahead and say you're enjoying my company.
No, we are not.
Go on,
we are not.
embrace the Mazino.
What's he talking about?
The Maz appeal.
Okay, so today...
MM's going to give us one of those looks now. Look, predictable.
So guys, today is Teddy Bear Day.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love teddy bears.
That's the
Really?
thing.
Oh, I love them.
Were you
I
one of those
love
who had
love
teddy
them.
bears as a child? Like
Yes.
loads
and
of them?
even till I got to the university.
Are you serious?
Yes, I had so many. I even still have a lot of teddy bears. But now, it's the kids who get to play with them a lot. And I recently noticed that Elsie doesn't like animal pets, like those toy animal pets. She doesn't like them at all.
I'll tell you
But
why.
Bear is a pet. She doesn't think, she has not related
Exactly.
it yet.
She has not been able to, relate with that yet. But I'm
First off,
I love them.
There's a study that shows that if you are into teddy bears and dolls and all of that in your later years, not later, but like growing up in school and all, you are a lonely person. I'm not saying you are, but it's a study.
Yeah, but I
it's
actually,
research. Were you a loner?
Person, yeah.
See? That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Then the reason why Elsie's scared of bears or pet animals or stuffed animals.
Yeah, stuffed animals.
When children start to get aware of living things and the fact that they have eyes that can see, when they start to look you in the eye, when they regard you, that's when they start to have a fear for such things. And because it's an animal, or they think it's an animal, they're like, it can see me. When you get back home, cover its eyes and see her reaction. She'd actually embrace it.
I would have thought covering the teeth might be the solution.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Not all
children aren't
animals
really aware. You see some children playing with snakes without realizing that it's dangerous.
Oh, yeah, by
Until
the
we
way.
point it out that, what are you doing? That's a
By
snake.
the way, I saw those and it irked me because I'm like, please, who came up with this idea? We can deal with stuffed animals, but snake, really? Come on.
Some people have different things as pets. You know, one of the reasons I like a particular song.
Which
You know what it says?
Oh no, don't say lion, tigers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's a
Lions,
cliche.
tigers, and bears. I've always wanted to have a pet lion, a pet tiger, and a pet bear.
It will never happen.
Real ones.
It'll never happen.
And my plan is the moment they reach 4 years, I'm sending them to
animals in the world. We have to head over for the news now.
Okay.
Mary. Over to you, Ibrahim.
Okay.
Anyways, we'll get back to, I think there's some technical difficulties.
Yeah, so I was actually going to tell you guys what else is happening today. Okay. So besides Teddy Bear Day, it's also Quiet Day, which lends credence to what he said about people who like teddy bears being lonely. So it's like people. Quiet day. Okay, let me just hold my teddy like this.
And coincidentally, I'm actually in that mood right now.
You're feeling in a quiet mood today.
I'm actually feeling a really quiet.
Oh, by the way, Ibrahim, tell you what, I fixed it. So let's already do the news now. I'm sure you I do stuff. No, don't worry.
Yeah, thanks, Mazino. I love your Midas touch. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 296 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 55,456. This is the highest number of the country has recorded in the last few days. Plateau State recorded the highest number with 183 new infections. Lagos came in second place with 33 new cases, followed by the FCT with 25. So far, 43,334 people have been discharged, while 1,067 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Nigerians living in the North Central can heave a sigh of relief as a notorious criminal, Tewasi Akwaza, also known as Ghana, who has been terrorizing the region, is now dead. This according to the commander of the 4 Special Forces Command, Doma Local Government Area, Brigadier General Maudi Ali Gedzama. Ghana was killed on Tuesday evening in a firefight with military personnel. In 2017, the Nigerian police declared Ghana wanted after he was alleged to have killed several innocent persons. The Benue State government at the time placed a 10 million naira bounty on him and later surrendered himself for the amnesty program. But shortly after, he parted ways with the government. Then after, the relationship went sour. He is believed to be the brain behind criminal activities in Sankera geopolitical zone comprising Ukum, Logo and Kisina Ala local government areas. Meanwhile, Benue State Governor Samuel Otom has given armed youth from Sankera geopolitical zone another chance to be reintegrated into the society. The governor did this on Tuesday while receiving youths suspected to have been terrorizing Sankera geopolitical zone in the numbers and by extension Benue Northeast Senatorial District. He noted that the amnesty became necessary following appeals by stakeholders from the area on the need to give armed youths operating in the axis another chance to embrace peace and live among the people. He stressed the need for people of Sankera to give peace a chance to develop, for development to thrive, adding that no meaningful development could take place where there is insecurity. The federal government says it will no longer release guiding price bands for the sale of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, at filling stations. Executive Secretary, Petroleum Products Price and Regulatory Agency, Abdulkadir Saidu, says going forward, PMS price will be determined by the forces of demand and supply and the international cost of crude oil, adding that the downstream arm of the oil and gas sector has been fully deregulated. He also said the role of the agency will be to ensure that oil marketers do not profiteer, as every petrol dealer will be free to source for products and fix their price. Mr. Saidu further said the deregulation fixed the price. Mr. Saidu further said the deregulation will be in accordance with the Code of Conduct because as a regulator, it's the duty of PPPRA to protect the consumer and operators. Presently, petrol is selling between 159 naira and 167 naira per litre. An attempt to deregulate the oil sector in 2012 was poorly managed, resulting in over 1 week of protests and rallies. Business and social activities in major cities were held at a spot. Government was forced to abandon the move. And we're heading straight to the kitchen. That does not the news. Mary, with Chef Nathaniel. What's cooking, guys?
I actually feel like I've been caught out because I was just about to take a bite of pasta. Like, I have a plate. I had to quickly hide when you called me. Calm down now, Ibrahim. What's the rush? Okay. Oh. Welcome back to the kitchen. Chef Nathaniel of Natido Cuisine is still here making breakfast. Yeah. Now you're running the kitchen. Yeah. You've left running the world for us.
Let's come back later.
Okay, so quite a spread here. As you
Yeah.
can see, a lot has happened. So you know what you're going to do for me right now.
Yep.
You are going to run me through the process so far, and then we'll complete what we are about.
Okay, so like we said earlier on, we're making Natido's pasta vegetarian burger.
Great.
And we have our burger bread.
Okay.
We have our shredded carrots and, cabbage, which we've used barbecue
sauce in. Okay.
We have our apple and
Cucumber. Okay.
Then our pasta,
Okay.
really cooked pasta.
2 pasta variants and
spaghetti. So we fried
with
it,
all the vegetables.
and everything. So
Okay.
we're just gonna eat this up.
Okay.
A bit.
What's the purpose of heating it up?
It's so as to make it soft a little bit.
Oh,
and
so it's easier to put everything together. There has to be a bit of oil in whatever pan you're using, right?
So there's just little
Okay,
oil. So
okay,
just
okay.
heat it up a bit.
So just a bit of heating.
Yeah.
Then we start loading it up.
You get it.
I think the biggest miracle today will be how this thing will stay together, because I really don't know how you're going to pull it off. Pasta, still putting in some, I don't know, we can't call this coleslaw because it's barbecue sauce that was used.
Barbecue coleslaw.
So, well, another angle.
Yeah.
Okay, so
maybe you can help
let
me
me,
to
okay,
doing
no
that
problem with that.
as I'm dressing this.
Okay, so it's just the side, right?
Yes, just
Okay.
down and up, down and up.
Okay.
So the first step is to use the barbecue sauce.
Okay, as a bed while it's still hot.
Yep,
As it is hot.
you get it. So that's.
Okay.
Then after that, we have this.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be very, very creamy because of the sauce.
Okay.
So just that. Then our apples and cucumber, just one. Then of this over here. So pasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the pasta, so the cabbage and carrots go in first.
Yes. Although there's no really, you can put that first or the fruit.
So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. The main thing is for everything to be arranged and
Okay.
enters the tummy. So
You put the pasta in.
there.
That's it.
Yep.
Oh wow, it's not as scary as I thought. I thought you were gonna like load it up. It's like okay. I would like to see how you pull it off.
So this next.
Then you do the next one. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, so you know what? We'll go on a break. I really wanted you to see how this will come along together. So I'm glad he was able to show it to us.
Amazing. I can't wait for us to get back to, you know, touring the world and visiting beautiful sites. All right, now time for some relationship discussion. And Jane Vanessa Willie is a certified relationship coach with 9 years of experience in counseling and coaching. She is the founder of Janessa Foundation, an NGO, and she's also an on-air personality, a Mandela Washington Fellowship. And today, she'll be talking about how different genders express grief. Good morning, Jane.
Good morning.
How are you today? How are you today? Great. Now let's get great. Now let's get right into today's discussion. How should genders express grief? The male and the female gender. Of course, we do not, you know, express grief same way. We express them differently. And also, I'd also like to ask, how should we comfort our loved ones who are also experiencing grief?
Okay, first things first, you need to understand that grief is very personal. So more often than not, in the bid to try to help, you may be overstepping sometimes. So it depends on the kind of relationship or what the person is grieving about that you can now decide what kind of support the person needs. So generically, people have, generally you have like 7 levels of, grieving. You first of all have the denial, it's not happening to me. Oh, they are going to come around. Oh, they will realize that I was valuable and coming back to take that job and all of that. Then you have the anger stage, then your bargaining stage, where you're like, oh no, if I had stayed longer, maybe I've spent more time with them, they wouldn't have left me. Or, okay, God, if you do this for me, I'm going to give you that and all of that. Then you have the depression state. That's where, a lot of us don't want to go to, and grief happens to everyone depending on what you're grieving. Yes, at every stage in life. And for people who are in the depression stage and have lingered there for, longer than necessary, they would, need support from a therapist to help them walk through that phase. And the final stage will be acceptance. Acceptance doesn't necessarily mean that, you've stopped feeling the pain or everything is, going okay. It's just that place where you realize that, okay, this is what is happening to me. I have to come to terms with it, and I have to find a way going forward. So for men, typically when they are grieving, they isolate. They go into what we call the cave experience. So they do that when they want to think. They do that when they're in pain. They do that when they're grieving. So the best
but a lot of
that
men
you
don't show it. As much as they isolate, we don't
Yes.
see them in that isolation, and they don't show it.
Okay, so the isolation happens mainly mentally. So for a woman, the way she expresses grief, she always, because she feels she's relating with a woman like herself, she wants to ask questions. How are you feeling? How can I support you? What can I do to make you feel better? For the woman, that's support. For the man, it could be irritating. At that point, he doesn't
Really?
want to
Wow.
answer,
Okay.
yeah, he doesn't want to answer any questions. He doesn't want you to drill him with what's going on in his head, because it's a mental thing. Mainly, most times it's a mental thing. He doesn't want you in that space. So the best support you can give to a partner is to let them know that you're available whenever they're ready to talk. As difficult as that is for a woman, I mean, it's the most difficult thing for any woman to do, pretty much, because we are talkers. We like to relate.
We like to
when
engage,
we're in
yes.
pain. We like,
Yeah.
yes, to engage. Men, on the other hand, don't like to engage.
Yeah,
When
but
you're
is
ready to
it
talk,
right? Is it okay? Is it safe?
it's just like saying, is it right to be a woman or is it right to be a man?
Wow. Okay.
There's no rightness or wrongness about it. It's
Okay.
pretty much about adaptability, being
Okay.
able to adapt to the person that you are relating with or you're trying to help get over a grief.
Okay.
So as a professional, we also I personally try not to become an expert at analyzing people's pain. You must, that's why I said I started with pain. Grief is personal. So you need to understand that first and foremost to be able to now know, how can I support this person so that you don't overstep. So for example, a lady may lose a child, and then someone shows up and say, oh, God gives and God takes.
You shouldn't say things like that. Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? Like, if God didn't want me to have it in the first place, why did he allow me to go through the 9 months pregnancy and all of that? So also our choice of words when people are grieving is very, very key.
Okay.
Don't come up and try to act like, oh, I understand what you're going through. Yes, you may have been through similar experiences. That doesn't mean you know exactly where I am, or what level of or stage in grief I am, or what threshold of pain I have. Because we all have different threshold pain. I can take 10 divorces. You can only handle one. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a very personal thing, and it's a personal journey for a lot of people, and you need to respect that.
Okay,
That's
so
always
just as there are levels to grieving, are there also levels to how to support people who are grieving?
Yes, like I've stated, first things first. So for the female, she wants to be encouraged. She doesn't want to be blamed for whatever you think happened. A lot of people, and you need to respect that.
Okay,
That's
so
always
just as there are levels to grieving, are there also levels to how to support people who are grieving?
Yes, like I've stated, first things first. So for the female, she wants to be encouraged. She doesn't want to be blamed for whatever you think happened, or why she don't tell her things like, oh, well, let's use the typical case of divorce. Like, when people say they are divorced, they are being treated like a plague in society, especially in this part of the world. So, you hear people say that, oh, she was so much of a career person. If she had paid more
Attention to herself.
yes, it may not have happened. don't. In fact, for me, the first principle is try not to be an expert at analyzing other people's pain. Understand that it's their pain.
And they can go through it. Okay.
Yes, listen to their grieving process and be there when they need you to be. They might be in stage 1. Don't jump to, you need to accept this. The stage 1 may be denial for them. Oh, they are not in that place where they have come to terms with this is really happening. You start telling them, oh no, you have to accept this. This is happening. You need to follow them gradually. Patience is one of the most important tools to support anyone who's
Yes,
going
quickly,
through
Jane,
this.
before we wrap up this segment, there are also people who, try to distract themselves by getting themselves involved in different, taking on different roles, different responsibilities, or some even use work as a, as a distraction method. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yes, that's a stage.
Okay.
That's a stage in the grief process. So when they do that for a long time, they are there's an emptiness or a void that they feel. And they think that more work, more alcohol, more sex will fix that. They are running away from dealing with that pain. So that's part of the denial process. I always encourage that depending on the intensity of the grief for you, you may not be able to go through it alone. You will have to lean on somebody else's strength.
Thank you so much.
Be able to go through.
Thank you so much, Jane. I'm sure that people who are grieving have learned one or two things. So if you actually have someone close to you who's actually experiencing grief at this time, support them, encourage them, talk to them, and don't badge them. Don't be all up in their space. Allow them grieve, to each his own. Thank you so much, Jane, for that interesting conversation. There's still so much more on the show, guys. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Time for us to have a conversation with the one and only Hilda Dokubo. She is a Nigerian film actress and youth advocate who made a screen debut during a youth service in 1992 in the film titled Evil Passion. She has since featured in and produced several Nigerian films such as Without Love, Forever, Jezebel, Hour of Grace, and so much more. And on that note, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show today, Hilda.
Hello, Hilda.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm finally talking to you. This is great. I've watched you over the years for so many, so many Nigerian movies. And I won't tell you what my sister says about you yet. I'll tell you just before we're done with this. But you're welcome.
You're such a tease.
Thank you.
Really, it's such a pleasure to have you. You're someone who is very vocal. And besides being vocal, it's also assured that you've had positions of authority in the process. But, we mentioned Evil Passion. So because of that, we would like to go way back to when it started. Even before it started, what informed your interest in the movie industry?
Okay, so let's see, how do I start this? First is, I started off entertainment at age 7. At what point, I couldn't tell why. Adults thought that I had some kind of talent, and I was skilled with communication, and I could speak up anytime. I could talk to anyone boldly without being insultive or rude. And so they put me on a radio program for children.
Okay, nice.
And so that's how it started. It started off like that, and then from radio to stage to television. So all through my childhood to teenage to young adult, I was working at different levels. As a kid, as a teen, as a young adult. And then when I graduated, having read theater, it was like a natural call, to just attend an audition and be cast for a role. So, if we go that back, nothing informed it. Just that I was restless, I was, very vocal, talkative a bit, questioned everyone. So
Well, Hilda,
I think my questions didn't end as a child.
Hilda, you said so much there. You said you've done radio, you've done theater, you've done movies. Now TV and everything. I love theater. Nigerian theater is also fantastic for me. And I think I've seen you in one stage play before. I can't remember the name, however, but your performance was fantastic. I want to see more of theater, however, and I'm wondering what you think about the Nigerian theater scene, whether it competes very well with the movie scene. You've been in so many movies, by the way. Does that equate the number of theater performances that you have given? And are we going to see more of theater from you?
I want to do more of theater, and the reason is it gives you the opportunity of training at the same time as working. Unlike camera, where your first day is your big day and you hardly have time for anyone owning anything with you, because directors are looking for actors who are self-sufficient, and so they don't have time for you. Plus a lot of camera directors, or rather screen directors, are very lazy. So they don't have the time to begin to you know, to even work you through their process. They don't even take time to even work themselves into the script. So they're in a hurry. And I think it's in their bid to match their work with their budget, maybe, I hope. I'm not sure. So I would do more theater because, you know, you work with everyone else to achieve the objectives of that production. So as you work, the more you work, the more you get, you know, involved, and the more relationships you build, the more in the writer's head you get into. So it gives you real, you know, real good time. And, you know, you're up there, you're face to face. There is nothing dividing you and your audience. But in terms of, you know, your camera is your audience.
Yes.
So you don't do a lot in terms of
expressing that
in terms of internalizing that role and pushing it forward.
Good,
Okay,
great,
so
great.
You know,
I love theater.
You know, one thing that struck me, the fact that you're a child star, or rather you were a child star, and that is something so many people struggle with today. For every, I dare say, for every 100 children stars, maybe one or two, if I'm not exaggerating, only one or two usually turn out right, like being able to manage the stardom and still be able to be like a normal person. Would you like to give us a tip or two on how you were able to pull that off?
Okay, so if you have a mother like mine, you will pull. If you have a mother like mine who has no mercy for the whip, you will straighten out. If you have a father like mine who would talk you step by step of what went wrong, what went right with your decisions, what you did, and all of that, you turn out right. So I grew up with two adults who had two different methods of parenting, but it worked.
Wow.
It worked. So kids need the support of adults to manage all the eyes,
I always say
all
that.
the voices around. They need appropriate adults. But what's happening today is that a whole lot of young people do not have that, because mommy and daddy are very busy trying to meet the demands of the economy, meet the demands of travel time. You know, before you come home, child is asleep. By the time child is waking up, you're out of the house.
Yeah.
So kids grow up more children of nannies, children of stewards, than children of their parents.
Oh, well, you pulled it off.
Okay,
You've done a great job, and that's fantastic. Your entire history. has been great when it comes to being in the media, being in the eye of everybody, movies, theater, and also as a producer, by the way, we forgot to say that, and we love that about you. Hilda, there's never enough time on television. We were hoping that we were going to have maybe even more than just the amount of time that we've had today.
Yeah.
But we would like to have you back again on the show if you do not mind.
Nice. Perhaps when the lockdown is really, you know,
yes,
a thing of the past, when COVID-19 has been better managed, so we can have a real conversation. But before we go, I remember just a few months ago, what actually made me recollect it was what you said about children being raised by nannies and, in quotes, strangers. Now, I remember you said you would advocate for life sentence for rapists. Has that changed?
Straight up.
Okay.
No, my position is the same.
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
They deserve, because when you do that to a child or to even an adult, you kill the person. That's what it is. Forget that the person is breathing and walking around. Most people who are victims of rape, they're never the same till the day they go home. They need a lot of talking, a lot of therapy, sometimes medication for life. So when you kill someone, you should die.
Oh, Hilda, thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you
a
so
very,
much
very
for your time.
interesting
Yeah.
resolutions there. Thank you very much for joining us. We love everything you do, and we're looking forward to having you back again here on Wake Up Nigeria.
You did. Have a great day then.
Have a great day, Hilda.
Thank you, you too.
All right.
And
Hey.
talking about great things,
Joining us now to the kitchen quickly. We really need to wrap this up. Chef Natido has put this together. This is beautiful. This is yummy. This looks delicious. So quickly, Mazino, over to you.
I get to do the tasting today
Natido,
again? Oh.
while we wrap this up quickly.
So today we
Alright.
made Natido's pasta vegetarian burger. So we cooked our regular pasta, then added some
Plantains, cucumbers, red peppers, red bell peppers, tomatoes, and I mean, all in this burger. It really looks good. Thank you so much, Natido. Thank you. And just in case you're wondering what my Ankara book looks like, well, this is it. It's the finished product.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Thank
So
you.
thanks to homely.ng for the kitchen accessories. Thank you to everyone who has contributed today. Thanks to the crew. Thanks to all our guests. Have a fantastic day.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.